Well, apparently March was the month of audio for me. Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video, I will be doing my March wrap-up, talking about everything I read, or like a joke. A lot of it was audio this month. Had a really busy month that didn't get a ton of physical reading done, but audio still kept me doing pretty good, and so let's just jump in and talk. So first off, we had Towers of Midnight. I started this pretty early in the month because after The Gathering Storm, I was just excited to continue. And this is a chonker, but with the audio, I got through super fast with it. And I ended up, because after that, I'm like, I don't want to wait. I ended up just jumping into A Memory of Light early and also doing this whole book audio in March as well. Because I love the Wheel of Time, and I just had been getting my excitement growing since Night of Dreams, and so I just decided to finish it up and binge the last two, which I had a really great time doing. I do, like all the others, have videos for each of those books, just kind of a general spoilery discussion going through all of that, and so really had a great time with the Wheel of Time. So always, my most recent reread just, reaffirmed all the reasons why I love this series so much. So if any of you were hoping I would enjoy it less, didn't happen. Enjoyed it probably as much as I always do with completing the full reread. And then next up, I read Fourscored by Andrew D. Meredith, which is the sequel to Thrice. And as of this coming out, I think you'll still have a tiny bit of time because it comes out 4/4. So just a note, Fourscored 4/4. We'll note for that as well. And this one I did do a video for as well as I did a live show with Andrew D. Meredith on Anita's channel, which I'll link to that down below also, where we talked about that series, Needle and Weave. And I really enjoyed this one. It was similar to the first one with just kind of pulling you in, building the characters, having it kind of be slow, almost cozy, and then picking up an action in the second half. And in this case, picking up an action in a big way, a lot more than I was expecting, has me really curious and impatient for whenever the third is going to come out, because I want to read more, although we get a really great arc here and ending. And both of these books feel like it's satisfying, but I also still just want to know what's going to happen next. So enjoyed that, and I joked about it being the month of audio, but March was also in a lot of ways the month of Meredith, because I read Fourscored, which was an e-arc I'd gotten from Andrew D. Meredith, and then I also beta read a short story from Andrew D. Meredith, as well as beta reading, which I did with my wife, actually. We both read for Patricia Meredith, that's the wife of Andrew D. Meredith, also an author, and that was A Deed of Dreadful Note, which is the next in her line of historical mysteries. This one specifically about the kind of mother of detective fiction, Anna Catherine Green. I had a really nice time with that. It was a really different genre from what I normally read, obviously. I don't really do a ton of historical fiction or mystery, but I quite enjoyed it a lot. And I had a good time with that one, and it was kind of fun too, especially with that kind of book, reading along with somebody, discussing, talking about it and everything, so I really enjoyed that as well going through. So I got three different, from the Meredith household, three different things that I read in March, and I enjoyed all of them quite thoroughly. Then next up, continuing the mostly audio train, was The Lair of Bones by David Farland, which is book 4 in the Rune Lords, and I did just recently do a video that's just kind of talking about the Rune Lords in general. Book 4 is the end of the main arc, and then book 5 starts kind of a new arc in this world. And so I did a video just kind of talking completely spoiler free, which I'll link as well if you just want to know more about this series, because I've really enjoyed the Rune Lords so far. And it's a series I have not really heard talked about a whole heck of a lot. But the world, the very high fantasy, great world building, and a lot of great characters, and then just a really fascinating magic system. Both there's a fairly hard and a soft magic system, and just the exploration of that magic system and the other types of magic and creatures and things going on and everything happening here. I had a really good time with this. It's been a really solid series so far, and I'm looking forward to continuing. I'll still be reading it with T from An Erudite Adventure. We're going to take a break in April and then jump back in in May, kind of just take a break since it's a natural stopping point with the series and go from there. And we've had a couple of other people jumping in, so hey, it's not too late to jump in if you want to read those with us in the Discord we've been going on and chatting as we go through. And then continuing and actually closing out a series, which is always really nice, was When the Goddess Wakes by Howard Andrew Jones, which I love this cover. It's such a cool cover. This is the third and final book in the Ringsworn trilogy. And this one, it's kind of oddly short, and I'll probably be doing a video soon talking about just the trilogy in general, but I still enjoyed this. It was pretty solid, and it's this series too. It's kind of, I feel like the sort of like popcorn type of books. They were pretty quick to get through, and especially the first book was a lot of fun. I felt like we lost a little bit of humor, got a lot more serious in the second two, but they were still pretty darn good. So a solid trilogy overall, and I'll make a video coming up soon talking more about that as well. Then we had The Way of Edan by Philip Chase, and this is one that I had pre-ordered and was looking forward to getting to quite a bit right away, and so got through this, and I will note, I did technically finish both When the Goddess Wakes and The Way of Edan on April 1st during the day, because I didn't quite make it by March. I'm including them here because it was close enough. And I started 2 new books on the 1st, so I'm still counting this as March. But this was an enjoyable book. I'm definitely going to be doing a review on this here soon as well, and kind of talking through. It's one that feels very reminiscent of a lot of classic fantasy, but with going in some different directions and with a very unique voice coming from Philip Chase. So I'll be talking about this one in a review this week here as well. So definitely more to come there. Now, the other things I'll mention is I did start The Written by Ben Galley, which is the first book in Emaneska, and that was part of a buddy read. And I got like a third into it, and the problem arose, and I ended up putting it down because once again I was doing beta reading, and so I finished the beta reading and was I did some kind of throughout the month. So I put it down for beta reading, and then I put it down again for The Way of Edan, and I just kind of kept putting it down because I had other stuff come up that I needed to get to first, and I did not end up getting back to it. It's not a DNF at this point or anything like that. I just did not get back to it, and then it's really poor timing because April is readathon month, where I'm doing the Battle of the Bands readathon, which I posted a video for with my general kind of TBR that I'm planning, which I've changed and added a few things here and there as well. But I'm also doing the TBR Blitz from over at the Keymark Discord. So with all the readathons going on, I have a pretty regimented reading schedule, so trying to get that in, wouldn't count because I started it in March. And so with that, I'm kind of like stuck where I'm like, because I was planning on doing book 2 as one of my readathon prompts. So I'm still planning to try to get back to that at some point, but I don't know when that's going to be at this point, so that's kind of where we are. And then I planned to read the last 2 SPSFC books that I have for the semifinal category that we're in now. I also didn't get to those, and I also don't know when I'm going to, because unless I can jam them into a readathon prompt, I'm pretty packed for April, so I'll have to get creative with how I get to those. But I'll see if I can fit them in, something like that with it as well, because I did not get to those like I wanted to in March. So that is everything that I read and went through in March. So I feel like still a decent amount of stuff. I didn't get through nearly as much. Just was super busy with work, and then went on vacation, got like no reading done while I was gone either. So that kind of slowed me down. But I feel like I finished the month strong, and I'm starting pretty strong in April. So there should be quite a lot of stuff in the April wrap up, because tentatively, if I read something for every prompt for the Battle of the Bands readathon, that would be 20 books. That is a lot. I did try to pick mostly short books so that it's at least possible, because it's definitely more than I normally read. But so we'll have to see. There could be quite a lot there, but you'll probably be seeing a lot of reviews popping up as well as I get through some of those books. A lot of things I meant to get to for a while. I did, like I said, mostly try to pick short books. Got a lot of indie in there. Got a lot of series I meant to get started. Some series I'm meant to continue, just a ton of stuff in there, all of which I'm pretty excited to get to, so looking forward to more of that as well. So lots more coming up there with everything for April, but March, that pretty much finishes it up. So that is it for this one. Make sure to give the video a like if you enjoyed it. Check the link in the description as always for the Wizardly Do a Discord if you want to chat books, whether these books, other books, any books, really anything at all. It is a lot of fun and we would love to have you. And of course, if you enjoyed my content, make sure to subscribe.